So this is another alliance war now, against an alliance called Palo. By the sounds of things, it's quite an intense rivalry between the two alliances. I think it's something to do with some Spanish heritage or something. But anyway, so here we go. I'm just checking that the team I've been assigned is right. So I'm going to bring in Warlock, Human Torch, and White Magneto for the pre-fights. I'm back up in section 1, but they've asked me to put on a White Magneto pre-fight onto the Killmonger, which is the second fight here on path 1. So I'm just going to move on to path 1, give the person that's doing it just a little bit of help of energy wise. So that all gets cleared. Moving into section 2 now. I have these 2 fights and then 2 mini bosses to do for this war. So I get this Professor X on Spite, and I can't remember the name of the node, but it's something to do with if you knock them down, then they can gain power off hitting blocks and stuff for so long. It's a relatively new node, and yeah, so they put this Professor X on here. I imagine hoping that someone with like a Human Torch or something is just gonna parry heavy or something like that and give them power again. Just to be safe, that again, this is another very, very close alliance war. These guys came at us with everything. As we expected, it's always a very, very close alliance war with these. And as you can see here, just taking my time with Human Torch, I was questioning which one of these fights I wanted to use my pre-fight on. And I decided to, well, the officers told me to use it on Moore instead. So I didn't want to trigger Spite there, so I just blocked the special attack. This one I dexed it at the start and just decided that I'll just give him a little bit extra power. Ideally, I always want to try and push Professor X to 2 bars of power, but I never want to push him to 3. So there you go. Professor X done. Is not really ever a difficult fight with Human Torch. And I had my invulnerability on just in case. Here, I've got Ebony Moore. As anyone knows who's watched my videos, if I ever put a pre-fight on something, I always make sure I back out onto the home screen and then go back into the fight just to make sure that the pre-fight's actually stuck. I've been caught out a few times where the pre-fights haven't stuck and it's not worked out in my favour. I remember quite a few seasons ago I tried to do a thing with Stealth Spidey, the web foam, it just didn't go on at all. So here, this is the kinetic transference node. So whenever they hit my block, they're going to gain power. The aspect of evolution means that they're going to get more attack, more crit rate, more crit defense, more power gain per bar of power they get. So here, as you can see, I just decide that I'm not bothered. I've got my invulnerability boost on. Human Torch shouldn't really ever miss against an Ebony Moore because you should always have your temperature quite high from being hit by a Mystic. And yeah, so the special 3 is not going to do too much. This is the only fight left for Human Torch, so I don't mind degen damage. I don't mind. I've not got to heal them up or anything, so as you can see, nice and easy there. Not long at all. Full attack bonus achieved, and we can move on. So here, I was actually out doing these fights. I was in the forecourt of a car garage, test driving and looking around some cars. And I was clicking on these things here, and for whatever reason, the signal during them 2 fights was great. But in the moment I tried to move to Mini Boss Island, the signal just completely dropped dead. At this point, the war was very, very close. I think it was like 5-4 or something in our favour. So I was to the point where here you can see I've just tried to click on my name there, trying to see what boosts I've got active. And there's nothing. I'm still waiting. The time is just ticking down. I'm trying to back out. I've tried to click on it again, and there's still nothing. It eventually loads up now. So I just say, look, I'm not prepared to take the fight right now. One disconnect can change a war, and I wasn't prepared to do it. So as you can see here, look, you see me click on it, and I'm still waiting, and then eventually it moves. I don't know whether it was just a my internet thing or maybe it was the server, because like I said, the first 2 fights went great. but I wasn't prepared to take the risk. I lost all my boosts, so I had to reboost up again, ready for the boss island. And yeah, it was just a little bit frustrating, but hey. So yeah, just reboost now, back up for the polka dot power nodes that I unfortunately died on in the last war. Very common placement this season seems to be bishop on here. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing just so you can't stun him. He puts an incinerate on his special one. You don't want to bleed him. Your incinerate sort of charges power. But even so, if you give the bishop a special 3 with an invulnerability boost, all that'll happen is he'll put an energy vulnerability on you. It just means that he'll hit a little bit harder with energy damage into your block. It's not gonna put some horrific debuff on you that's gonna kill you. So yeah, we go into this fight here. Obviously, foresight 0 bars means that all his special attacks are going to be unblockable. Here, I just want to bait heavies or get the occasional intercept. He's running some form of willpower, as I can see from the weakness. So the moment I get an infection here, it's going to start draining his power. I'm just waiting here. I'm waiting here now. And here we go. So the problem, again, like I was just saying there with the special one, is that while the bishop has what's called the steady release from the special one, if you're within basically striking distance, you get an incinerate debuff put on you, and it does tick for quite a lot actually. It hurts. So all I'm going to do now is just try and do 4-hit combos, keep watching the power, and yeah, the whole block immediately after throwing the 4th hit. That way we get to the point of he shouldn't throw a special one at me. He should just be more inclined to either throw an instant heavy attack like that, or he'll throw a couple of hits then into a heavy attack like that. So you can kind of play on the AI a little bit here. Sometimes the AI just doesn't care. It'll throw a special attack into your block. But I got quite lucky with this AI. It just was quite happy throwing heavy attacks. This time, compared to a war a few wars ago, I decided not to lunge in too early after a heavy attack, so I didn't lose one of my indestructible boosts. And as you can see, it's not the most complicated fight, to be honest. I reckon there's a few counters. Apocalypse is probably, in my opinion, quite a good one. Just because he would become incinerate immune anyway, so even after the special one from Bishop, you'd be able to attack straight back into him. Last couple of percent here now. I didn't turn suicides on for this war at any point, just because the last time I put suicides on I died. So I was just a bit like, yeah, I don't really fancy it. I'm confident enough without the suicides that I can do it. And compared to the other war, again here, I actually managed to put a White Magneto pre-fight on. I healed up Warlock just to be sure, even though I've still got the indestructible boost on. I have big tech boosts on, just again to get a bit of security. I look here, it said I had just over about 15 seconds for the indestructible. So instead of going to the home screen, it said the pre-fight was applied, so I just risked it. I've done this fight before without the pre-fight anyway. I did it a few wars ago. You just have to be a bit more careful when she's lucky. But as you can see there, it sticks, so I can just do a few hits after I parry her. Always try and bait the medium dash in to parry, so she doesn't do what was called the block break for a while when she first came out and no one could understand what was happening. Here she goes lucky, so I decided not to throw my special 2 at that time, just because I've had it a few times where she will dexter or she'll evade midway through the special. I used to always have to deal with Domino on Path 7 when it used to be a few seasons ago, and she was a little bit more annoying. It used to be a guaranteed special 3 to fight. But as you can see here, even without suicides, mid boost, it's not really a difficult fight for a Warlock. And yeah, that's my part of the war done. These are the last few fights across the whole war. Luckily they all got one shot, So yeah, we managed to beat this alliance and another close rivalry, and one step closer. Thank you very much.